Right, this is just a testing just to see how shooting a video in this upper room is going to be like. So yeah, let's get started. Good day, welcome to Block 929. This is the first time that I'm shooting a video in the office. I just want to give it a try and see how it feels. We have good lighting, so now I can do it in the evening. I can come here and shoot some videos. There's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to be sharing in this office with you. There are so many people asking questions because I did a video about how to start a cement block business. So I talked about how to do your calculations when we are busy making blocks, so that when you start that business to make blocks for clients, more especially if you're going to make blocks on their site, you should be able to calculate the number of blocks that the customer needs, what type or how much materials they require in case of like quarry dust, cement, sometimes also do calculations with water if necessary. So I am going to be sharing this information. The most important information that people loved the most is how to do calculations in terms of how many blocks can come out of a ton. And I just wanted just to recap on that one. So that because many people they get confused. For me to be able to do those calculations, it happened because there was a time when I had to make blocks for a client, and I was using my 1-ton pickup to go and collect materials and to make the blocks. So I used to go to the quarry, and then they will weigh the car on the weigh bridge. And then we will go and they'll bring some quarry dust and load 1 ton in there. And out of that 1 ton, I used to be able to get out of there 10 wheelbarrows of quarry dust. So that's when I discovered that 1 ton of quarry dust is equal to 10 wheelbarrows. So if you hear me saying 1 ton is equal to 10 wheelbarrows, that's where I got it. It's not like I did some calculations and to see how much quarry dust I can get per ton. It just happened out of experience when I was doing it, because I made so many trips of 1 ton, and then I made so many 10 wheelbarrows out of that. So that was one thing that I came about to know. Now, when we made blocks, the block that we were doing was the 150 by 400 by 200. I don't know in your country what kind of blocks you're using, but here in Malawi, the standard block for a single story house is 150 by 400 by 200 millimeters. So out of the 10 wheelbarrows, I was able to get about 70 blocks. All right. So it was actually, I mustn't say I was about, I was for 5 wheelbarrows. Well, with a mixture of 5 wheelbarrows, we were getting 35 blocks. So with the 10 wheelbarrows, it was 70 blocks. So that's when I came to understand that out of 1 ton, you should be able to make 70 blocks of the 150 by 400 by 200. So 1 ton of quarry dust is equal to 10 wheelbarrows. And then because the mixture for making blocks is 1:5, which is 1 bag of cement with 5 wheelbarrows, and then you are able to make 35 blocks of the 150 by 400 by 200. So in 1 ton, we were able to get 70 blocks. So if somebody says that they want to make 3,000 blocks and they want to know how many tons they need for that 3,000 blocks, they can just divide that by 70. Then it will give them how much tonnage they need. So it just makes it much easier for people to calculate. So if you are building a house which is a single story and it's going to use 150 by 400 by 200 blocks, and then you need a quantity surveyor tells you need 5,000 blocks, all you need to do is divide that by 70 to get how much ton of quarry dust you need for that amount of blocks. So it becomes very easy once you understand the concept in this way. So you never get confused anymore. Even when you're building with the 150, if you're not filling the gaps of the blocks, the hollow blocks, if you're just building, putting mortar on there, one bag of cement with a mixture of 4 wheelbarrows, you are able to lay about 80 blocks. So if you want to know how many bags of cement you're gonna use to build your house of using 5,000 blocks, you divide that by 80, it gives you the number of bags of cement you're going to use for building, not for making blocks, but for building. Yeah, so, and also when you're using the 150 by 400 by 200 and you are building a fence, you want to know how many blocks you're going to need for that fence. Here in Malawi, normally our fence is 3 meters, so 3 meter panels. So a panel is you know, you build a wall and then you have a gap between the walls and you build another wall, and this wall is called panel. So on a panel of 3 meters you use about 80 blocks. So approximately, you know, coming from the foundation to the top, you will use about 80 blocks. So if you want to know how many blocks you're going to use for your fence, you do the total parameter of the fence and divide that by 3 to give you how many panels you're going to need, and then you multiply that by 80. It will give you the number of blocks that you need. And once you found the number of blocks, you divide that by 70, it will give you how much tonnage of quarry dust you need to make those blocks. So you can see it becomes even much more easier when you understand this. And you, if you can remember, I said when you are building, 1 bag of cement is going to be able to lay about 80 blocks. So it means each panel you're going to use 1 bag for building. So it even becomes even more and more easier. So if you have got questions to ask me, please feel free so that I can explain, because so many people, they get confused when I talk like this. And also, by the way, just behind me here, there's going to be a whiteboard. And then I'm going to do this subject again. I'm going to explain this again, but I'll put it on whiteboard so that you are able to understand. And I see that this is actually attracting a lot of people from West Africa and even from India, Kenya. People are liking this type of subject. So I'm going to try to explain it in detail so that everybody can be able to catch it without having, you know, to get confused on what's going on. But don't forget, if you want to get more insight of what I'm doing, to subscribe, share the video, like, and leave a comment. Yeah, so please don't forget to ask me questions, and then I should be answering the questions. It will be much easier when you are asking me questions than I must be answering. This is going to be touching more on the subject of how to start a cement block business. When we say how to start a cement block business, we mean business where you're going to be selling blocks to clients, and also you help people to maybe build a house and whatever, so using cement blocks. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.